Welcome to Family Matters with Reverend Faith Ndongo. And again, today she's still on the bench because we're still dealing with why the youth are skeptical about marriage. And we have been talking about a lot of issues. We talked about social media. We talked about the idea of marriage, what to expect when you get into marriage, what are the false expectations that we normally get. And we are still privileged to have Bishop Peter and Reverend Faith Ndongo on set. Welcome.
Thank you. Nice to be back
Why
here.
you saying tuko na maneno?
Because marriage is heavy, When you talk about marriage, we don't want to sit here and say, well, marriage is simple, it's an easy thing, it's down the road. No. Of course, marriage is serious stuff. Yeah. It needs to be looked into with all the seriousness it deserves. Yeah. But having said that, again, marriage is enjoyable. It's beautiful. I am reminded in the scriptures when Adam saw Eve, he said, wow, this is the bone of my bones, the flesh of my flesh. I mean, that was excitement. Whenever I have joined hundreds of weddings, and whenever I join a wedding, you see the joy, the glow, you see just the excitement, the dressing, the makeup and everything. I mean, marriage is supposed to be beautiful. But again, there are also stages of marriage. Sometimes people think because of lack of understanding, they think they will always be in the wedding, the rest of their lives. Because there's a difference between wedding and marriage. Wedding is a day. One day. But marriage is lifetime. And of course, in marriage, the first year is different from the second. The third is different from the fifth. The fifth is different from 10. So every time they are going through a stage in your marriage, so again, you should not be thinking, oh, I thought we were enjoying marriage when we were the first 2 years. Now we don't. It may be a different stage, so you enjoy it differently. Maybe then you didn't have children, now there's children. Maybe now they are toddlers. Maybe now they are, teenagers. Maybe now they are this or the other. Maybe you need to take them to school and all that. I mean, it's different stages in life that you have to really enjoy, not because this one is better than the other. Maybe when you came together, you really didn't understand, know each other more. Now you have stayed together 10 years, you know each other more, you understand each other more. So, I mean, there are all those phases. And maybe somebody watching, listening, they're in different phase. Or the young people, you're talking about being skeptical about marriage and thinking, oh, marriage doesn't work. It's fake. People are pretenders. They're pretending. I want to say we are not pretending. We are happily married. Does that mean there are no challenges? There are no problems? They are there, just like anywhere else. But again, it is worth going for it. I would encourage all young people to get married.
We will, surely enough. Especially after all these episodes we've had with you, we are getting married. Rev, let's hear your voice. We've missed it.
Thank you, viewers, and welcome again. Yes, we are here because we care for our young people, and we are here because we believe in marriage, and that is why we advocate for it. And so I'm excited to be back.
Welcome.
Thank you.
I am the happiest.
Let me ask her a question. Did you long to get married when you got married? Was there a desire to get married, or maybe people pushed you to get married, or what?
Oh no, I really wanted to get married. First because my friends were getting married, and then I loved a young man. And what's next? In fact, as young people say they are skeptical about marriage, the question I have for them is does that mean that then you will not be in love with anybody? Because if you're in love, what will you do with that man or that young woman?
Marry him.
You must marry them. If you're going to live a life of commitment, because love without commitment is also very dangerous. Number two, if you don't then marry them, and you really want to express your love to them, how will you do it? So what you're telling us is you're skeptical about marriage, but that heart is still beating, with love for somebody. So what will you do with that love? Yes.
Maybe also, I just remembered something. Maybe also what young people are fearing is the responsibility. They don't want to, they want, to be on the periphery, simple things. I want to have a friend here, a girlfriend, a boyfriend, but they don't want the commitment.
They want the thrill.
They don't want the responsibility.
That honeymoon, you see, that's why we are afraid it will end.
And honeymoon, you can't even get to honeymoon before you're married. So those who are having honeymoon before you're married, know it is a sin.
It's wrong.
You need to get married.
Yes.
And the thrill comes with responsibility.
Yeah.
In fact, you know, the Bible talks about somebody that God put to death.
Yeah.
These were sons of Judah. It says the first son was very evil. God put him to death. And then the way Israel culture was, the other brother was supposed to take the wife of this one who has died and have children with her, so that they can carry on the name of the brother. That was the culture in Israel.
Yeah.
What this second brother did, he was Onan. He would actually sleep with this brother's wife, but he would not. He would actually not
allow her to conceive.
Not allow her to conceive.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So that he would not complete the whole process of having sex.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Yes.
So that she does not conceive, because he didn't want to have the brother's children for the brother.
Yeah.
God killed him. The 2 times in the Bible that God kills people, it is those 2 times. Why? Because he wanted the thrill, but he didn't want the responsibility. So I want to tell young people, as long as your heart beats and is actually falls in love, what you call falling in love, wants to love another person, then marriage still is in the equation.
Oh my Lord. No, you said no honeymoon without marriage.
That's it.
No honeymoon without marriage.
Yeah.
I'll keep saying that to every young person I know.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's get into the conversation. Before we started the show, we were talking about losing the spark. Now, I will tell you for a fact, it is very scary to know someone, even a guy, Bishop. You knew a man, he used to take care of himself. He's so, go to the gym, do all these things. You get married. Yeah. It's a change of, the dressing changes. They call it, you get into daddy mode. I don't know what daddy mode is. It's gone. You're not, if you are appealing, you're not appealing anymore. If you're a lady, if you used to love things of beauty, you don't want to do that anymore. You don't care about your weight. You don't care about so many things that you used to care about. And we call that losing the spark, because initially these things used to make us happy. For example, me, I like working out. I like having, I'm scared of getting fat. Scared. The food I eat, there's a way you love this kind of food. When I lose that, I'm a journalist, I love talking and all that. When it reaches a point where I don't love talking anymore, I don't care the way I look, the clothes I'm wearing, I will say I've lost my spark. And that happens in marriages. Is it, or do we have it wrong?
Maybe the motivation was wrong, even before marriage. Because does it mean you are doing all this for somebody to see? Now that if there's the way they say you may gear box, or you're now married, now you don't care. And I agree with you. There are people who are like who do that. I mean, who are like that. And they have, when we teach couples, we always tell them, don't get drowned into the marriage business, and you forget yourself, thinking now. I already have a wife, I have a husband, so I don't really need to take care of myself. You used to take care of yourself, you used to exercise, you took care of your body, your makeup, your hair, your whatever, you are stylish as a girl and all that. Then if you did that, and then now because you are married, you stop, again, that's wrong. You are not supposed to do that. But again, having said that, there may think that people may perceive as if maybe you have neglected yourself, or you have lost the spark, as you say, but maybe not necessarily so. It is because responsibilities have changed. Like you're saying, you may not remain that figure, is it 8 or 9, whatever. Especially when you start now having children, responsibilities have changed. Now you're in a family setting, things have changed. There's a lot that changes. Again, you have to accept, yes, you're the same person, but times and seasons have changed for you. So again, you can't live like that girl, that young man, their responsibilities, their issues. I don't know what Faith may add.
Yeah, I totally agree with you that on the one hand is probably you also stopped doing all the things you were doing because you were out there hunting.
Yeah.
For the men maybe, and for the woman you wanted to be attractive, and you can lose that because it's like, now I have gotten married. People have done that.
Yeah.
Women have done that, men have done that, where now they are like settled and now they're eating anything and they're just relaxed because now I've gotten into this marriage, which is going to, of course, make you look different and maybe not look as good as you did. On the other hand, it could also be why that loss of spark. It could be, did you marry your friend? Did you actually marry the right person?
Yeah.
And that is why it is important to think through this phase of courtship and dating, and ensure that you actually marry somebody, the right person. The right person doesn't mean there is any perfect person. It means that this is my friend. This is somebody I have vetted well, and I know that they care for me, and I care for them genuinely. We have committed ourselves to take care of each other. Actually, you're not supposed to look worse. You're actually supposed to have that spark going on if you marry the right person. Because now you're even together now, and you can have more fun. And so it can be that, marrying the wrong person. It could also be, what are the things that you used to do that you're not doing because maybe of now responsibilities that have come in, and all of a sudden it's like, I don't have to try. And I would encourage people, even when they get married, they're still young. They still need to take care of themselves. Even when somebody's pregnant, they can still be active. They can stay fit and healthy. More importantly, not being slim, because definitely weight will change, whether you like it or not, because once there is a baby being carried, the hormones change and everything else changes. But it's still for the better. At the end of the day, the person will finally be able to still take care of themselves, exercise, eat right, and still continue to be okay. So marrying the wrong person, number two, and this person, when I say wrong, it could be that this person is not a friend. And so you are marrying them, but you haven't really considered. And that can make your spark go, because once you are with them in the house, maybe you didn't expect them to be drinking all the time, and now they are all the time drinking. They are not even there for you. That would make you lose the spark. Because for me, what you're describing is almost like somebody who is depressed.
Yes, in fact,
the person that loses.
Can you say it's caused by depression?
Yeah.
Because like for me, I normally see as if those people are depressed. But then when I try to understand what's depressing them, like, what's that can make you lose a spark in marriage? Because me, I'm afraid of that. Like, honestly,
I think the losing of the spark, it could be that somebody is actually going through some stress. They have started realizing, this is now serious business, but yet this is not somebody I can really live with. If somebody is not being responsible, either side, it can be the lady, it can be the man. He expected a woman who would come, make his life better, keep the home nicely, be able to be there for him. Then he realizes she's not ready for that. It could be the man. He's maybe drinking too much. Maybe he's irresponsible. I think those things can make people lose a spark. And if that is happening, that is somebody who needs to seek help. Again, I would imagine that as they go through this process of marriage, they need to have people that are working with them, a more mature couple. And I find, and this is mostly from the West, where they'll have a best maid as just my girlfriend, and then the man has another man. We advocate people to have a couple that they have also vetted well, they have observed, they are good role models, because this couple will help to work with them. So that even as these changes are coming, there's even a couple who is looking and saying, what's going on here? And there is help, even for those who have lost the spark. But I would say you don't need to lose the spark. Marriage is actually supposed to now be fun. People can still dance together. They can still hang out together, go for a movie together. The fact that mumeoana doesn't mean that now we can no longer go for a movie, go watch a play. We can no longer dance together. We can no longer... Now you even can actually do all those things. This is your girl.
I think instead of losing the spark, there should now be the fire.
There should be the fire. That is it. Why are you losing the spark?
The spark should grow
To fireworks.
to become now fire.
Yeah.
Such that everybody will see the fire.
The
Because
fire,
some people may not see the sparks, but they can now see the fire, and they can see this family is doing great. Let me also mention two things from that. One, familiarity, where people become familiar with each other, and maybe that's how they also lose the spark, because they're thinking, oh, I know this guy, I know lady, and we are always together. I mean, we take each other for granted, and that is wrong. I mean, when you are dating or in courtship, you're always excited. Where are we meeting? Hey, I'm there. You even arrive before time. Now you take each other for granted. You come 2 hours late. You are not excited. You know, those days you were very excited about seeing any meeting, and you are calling, texting. Today you can even go for a whole day without calling, without texting. I mean, familiarity can actually destroy the spark, and now maybe say we call it fire. Now, I think the other thing is cultural beliefs. Where men believe, you know, things should be done this way. When you get married, this is how you behave as a man. Maybe that's what you saw from your dad, your uncle, whoever. And we believe you're from Kamba or Kikuyu or Kalenjin or Masai. There's a way a Masai man, a Kamba man, a Kikuyu man, a Luo man, a Luya man. This is how we behave. Such that overrides now your friendship. Because you are told when you get married, this is how you behave. Men are not supposed to do that. Men don't hawachakangi hobi, you know, you're not supposed you're not even supposed to laugh. You know, men don't do this. Don't show the woman like unampenda sana, you know.
They call it kusimp.
You know? Yeah. Kufanya nini?
Kusimp.
Hey. Usimuonyeshe kama una simp. Okay, that's a new one. We are still learning. I mean, but you see, that is culture. It's what people have been taught. And people believe those things actually more than they believe the Bible, which is wrong. Because again, you're supposed to be real, be open, be candid, and talk about issues, love each other openly and genuinely. And loving each other here does not mean always kissing or in front of cameras and holding hands and all that. I mean, sometimes people do those things for... I've seen people calling each other, hey, honey, sweetheart, and they are going to divorce, you know, and they are signing divorce papers, and they are calling each other, honey, sign here, you know. I mean, that's not what we are talking about.
Babes, sign here.
Babes, sign here. And they are fighting. They are, you know, you can't hit me like that, babes, you know. That's not the kind of relationship we are talking. We are talking like, I mean, so be real. Let's not allow our culture to override our, you know, our love, our commitment, our marriage values, and all that. And if there are people you can learn from, the better than learning, because again, our parents in their day, life was very different. Today is very different. Like now we live in, let's say, Nairobi or in the city, and when some of the cultural beliefs were that when you get married, even in the wedding, they come and the women will bring the lady a chondo, you know, a kiondo, carry this,
which I never used.
And then they'll bring you a sufuria and a mwiko. You'll be cooking for your husband, carrying water. So everything, all the responsibilities for the woman. So the guy goes home thinking, shh, I'm done. By the time I wake up, breakfast is here. My clothes are ironed. Food is ready. You are just here with the remote, and you have been working together. Maybe you came home the same time. But you know, in those days, men were the ones who were going for hunting and working and farming, and the woman was home the whole day. So you expected the woman would be the homemaker, cooking and doing all those things. But today, both of you are going to work together, come back at 7 o'clock together. How do you expect the same woman to do everything for you and bring everything to you, and you are not in it? I mean, those cultural beliefs, and then the last one is preparedness. We need to be prepared as a man for marriage. Because again, you're finding men who are not prepared. They have unrealistic expectations, such that when you get married, you're expecting, our wife should treat me this way. They wash my clothes, iron my clothes, cook for me, almost bathe you. I mean, almost do everything for you. unrealistic expectation. I mean, it's not supposed to be like that.
Yeah.
You are not, and sometimes people say, oh, this is your better half. You are not half.
Yeah.
You are a full person.
Yeah.
So live your full life and enjoy doing even things for yourselves.
Yeah.
Of course, I know there are those things that are easier for women, easier for men. I'm not saying, again, we should not pursue that, but maybe Faith can add something.
I like what you're saying about, we are coming back to you.
Yes.
I like what you're saying about unrealistic expectations.
Yeah.
And wow, that one is just a whole conversation in itself.
Yeah.
Because I think that's like, that constitutes 90% of the problems you're having.
Yeah.
And now, when you talk about unrealistic expectations, it means that there are some expectations which are supposed to be realistic. It is taking me back to how then will I know that I am well prepared for marriage? Because if we are facing this unrealistic, we are having all this, it means that maybe we are not ready for it per se. And there is, I think there is that in your heart. How do they say it? Your mind, your heart, your what? Zote zinakubaliana that now I'm ready, and you feel it even in your spirit that I'm ready for this. Rev, as a woman, how do you know you're ready for marriage?
First, even as I answer that question, I want to say that you can never be fully ready.
Yeah.
Because there is always that uncertainty.
Yeah.
In fact, when we are getting into a marriage or even in a serious relationship, there is a certain level of uncertainty.
Yeah.
Because honestly, you don't even know what will happen to yourself tomorrow or the other person. So you can't say 100% certain, but there is a level of certainty. Now, getting ready for marriage is, as you are saying, there are unrealistic expectations, and there are expectations that should be real.
Yeah.
One of the things is that, like for women, you should definitely expect a man that will protect you, because a man is supposed to protect his wife.
Yeah.
A man that will love you, meaning he's ready to provide for you. He's ready to share life with you, spend time with you, be there for you as you continue to grow in your life, because we continue growing, by the way.
Yeah.
Even as we get married, it's not like now to make a we continue growing. They'll be there for you. You are expecting that they will be a responsible husband.
Yeah.
Responsibility, that they are taking care of the home. They are offering leadership. That is not unrealistic.
Yeah.
They are offering leadership for this family. Where are we going? What do we need to do? You are expecting they will be listening to you.
Yeah.
And they will definitely show you love, you know. And of course, love is very wide, you know, but we also know what love is from 1 Corinthians 13, you know, about just giving. You cannot love without giving. Yeah. So a husband who is not ready to work to provide for the family, there is a problem there.
Yeah,
because
so
if he loves, he should be able to provide.
Yeah, so there are realistic
expectations.
Okay.
You are expecting this man will protect you when it comes to the community out there, to his family. You are expecting that he will actually take you to his family and be able to say, this is my wife, so that everybody is aware. You expect him to leave the boys' club, you know, the unmarried boys' club. Not that he won't have friends, but he cannot be hanging out with his unmarried friends. And he's gotten married. So obviously at the beginning, he may not even be thinking about it. He'll be caught by a friend and say, let's hang out. And quickly he'll think, yes, let's do it. But he will continue to grow he'll continue to outgrow that because he needs to settle down. So it's not like it's Friday, he's out, you know, clubbing with his friends and he's married. Now he has a wife and a family. They can now decide what we need to do. So all those are realistic. But knowing that you're ready for marriage yourself is that mentally you also understand what marriage is all about. Marriage is responsibility. Marriage means I'm now responsible over another person. And a woman that gets married, they have to be ready to be a homemaker. We are living in the city, like Bishop has said, we go to work, but then the responsibility of knowing, is there food in that home, is my responsibility. I may not be the one to cook all the time, wash the clothes, wash the house, but I am responsible for planning that. So that if it is a help that I need to get, I have a house manager, or whatever we call them, I am the one who is responsible you know, to make sure that she understands the house needs to be clean. The clothes need to be clean. They need to be kept this way. You know, there needs to be order. There is food. I have organized how we will buy food. And luckily these days we even have Glovo. We have all these ways of actually ordering food, so that if we are very busy, these days I find you can actually take your phone and order
breakfast.
You know, you can order your foodstuffs from the supermarket and they are brought home. These days there are even people, they are riders. You can order your, you know, your skuma wiki and whatever else from the mama boga. And actually have somebody drop. I mean, we have all these things that we can do.
Also enjoy cooking together.
Yeah, but you are ready that I will actually be a homemaker.
Yes, and
now,
it's my
why you will lose the spark is you are expecting muoane, lakini ati muode pizza kila siku, sijui tuode chipo, sijui nipelekwe out every day. Now, you may not even have the money to do that, and then it may not even be healthy. Actually, the health of the family is the responsibility of the woman, because you're the one who decides kama watu watakula boga kwa hiyo nyumba ama they will never see boga, which is healthy or whatever else is healthy. So you need to be ready that you are ready to become a wife. And a wife is somebody who also submits to a husband, submits to his leadership. If this man that you're courting or you are calling a boyfriend is somebody you cannot submit to, then you're in the wrong relationship. If it is not somebody you trust his judgment, you trust, you know, his opinions, so that when he says, I want us to live in Kayole, you are saying, no, I can't live in Kayole. How can you even imagine I'm going to live in Kayole? You need to know, to have somebody who you have a certain level of understanding, so that then he offers leadership and you follow. That does not mean you lose your opinion. You can no longer think, you can no longer say anything. No, that is not the way it is. But part of being ready is that I'm ready to submit, because that is what the Bible tells us. Submit to your husband. And so you need to be ready to submit to this man.
Yes. Let me just ask you, when you say, because now when you talk about the submitting and all that, it means that if I am dating someone who's not right for me, it means that could be the reason why I'm having a problem with thinking that I'm not ready for marriage and all that. Maybe it's because of the person.
It could be.
And I'm getting that you're saying, if this person is right, then I will have no problem even submitting and doing all those things.
You will not have a problem, but of course, you see,
like
still something you're learning, You know, you're still learning. You have not been a wife before. And so when you get married, still submission is a journey. Cause you continue learning. Because for you may be opinionated. You know, you are thinking this way. By the way, you're two people and you think differently. In fact, people continue to become better at, you know, seeing things the same way as they live together over the years. Such that today, we laugh, like, we may need to help somebody somewhere. Maybe there's some chago someplace or something. And I will say, or he will say, what do you think we should give so and so? And we will find we were thinking the same. Because over the years, we have come to learn, understand even our income and be able to finally, you know. But at the beginning, it's not easy. Actually, the learning to submit is also a journey. Yes.
And talking of submission, we can just start something there. There are people today who have a lot of misconceptions about submission because they think it's controlling. It's lording over. It's being the boss. It's like the woman is, you know, doesn't have any opinion. They are not thinking. They can't say. They can't give an opinion. That's not the kind of. I was talking to somebody yesterday who is a air host. Oh no, she works in the airplane as a air hostess. And she was saying, I mean, there's a man who will be traveling with a woman, even in the plane, and the woman cannot even talk. She'll come and ask the woman, what do you want to eat? It looks at the man. He can't even order the food because their culture is that the woman should submit and they should not even say that the man is the one who should talk. I mean, people take it to that extent. And that's actually in America. So, but of course they'll be coming now from another country. So that's not really submission. I think that's not what we are talking about. There's a submission the Bible talks about. There's a love that the man should love the wife, and the woman should. Of course, before you are married, you're not supposed to submit like a wife.
Yeah.
That everything he tells you, everything because again, that's another level of relationship. But he's still trying to study and understand, is this man controlling?
Yeah.
There's somebody who may even call you on the phone, they are quarreling you and commandeering you and doing all those things. And
or if they don't find you on the phone, they are very angry that they didn't
where
find
were you?
Because maybe they're insecure. Now, if you marry that person, you lose the spark.
Yeah.
Because if they already started controlling you and manipulating you before marriage, there's something they haven't dealt with. They have not dealt with their own insecurities. And so, and because we are having girls, honestly, who are being beaten by their boyfriends, or being controlled and manipulated, even telling you that if you leave him, he will kill himself. Already you should know there is a problem. That's a big red flag, very big. Because why is he trying to have you by force? So you need to be able to be aware of those issues.
And if somebody is calling you and you're shaking, when you go to pick the phone, no. I mean, you should be excited. You should be happy. Why is somebody call you and you're shaking? What is he gonna say? What is gonna? No. I think that's too controlling.
Yeah.
And if he ever beats you and you are cutting, please run with your 2 feet.
Very fast.
Run away. That's
I'm out.
Even if he apologizes,
I'm out. Gotcha. This conversation is very interesting, and I know we have to pick it up because Bishop, you have not told us how the men need to be prepared for marriage, but our time is so much gone. So we are going to have to end this session. Rev, if you allow us.
Come back.
Yes, we will come back and pick it up from there. Bishop, you'll pray for our viewers.
Thank you. Thank you, Kate. As we pray, and thank you so much, all of you that have joined us, whether you're married or single, preparing for marriage, you feel like you're lost, you don't even understand marriage, that's why we are here. And if you want more help, we are here to help you. You can even call that number or send a message, and we can talk. You can come, we can talk over the phone and share more, because we want also to help. And as I pray with you, I want to say to you 2 things: forgive, and also, because forgiveness is key. If somebody has hurt you, whether in a relationship or even in marriage, forgive. It is so important. And finally, don't sweat small stuff. There are people fighting over the small things, about socks, about toothpaste, where you start pressing, and people are fighting over those. If you can't agree about the toothpaste, why don't you buy each? You can buy yours and the other person can have and use it the way you want. So don't sweat the small. Marriage is bigger than a toothpaste or even, some of those small preferences. Haircut, whether long hair, short hair, long nails, short nails. I mean, those are really what I would call non-issues. They should not make people, part ways or fight, small stuff. I mean, they should really not fight over those things. But let me pray with you. Father, in Jesus' name, I pray for all the people that are watching, listening to us. I pray that the blessing of God will be upon you, that God will give you the wisdom. Those young people that are wondering how to marry, who to marry, when, and all those things, I pray that the wisdom of God will be upon you. Those of you who are married, I pray that the grace of God will be sufficient for you. The Lord will minister peace to you, restore that which has been lost, come back to the first love, and grace of God be upon you. Those who need to forgive, may God give you the grace to forgive and to be able to pursue your dream of marriage and enjoy your marriage. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you until we see you again. Shalom, peace in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.